Welcome back, foolish mortals. I did warn you there was going to be weird voices. It is day 3 of Fanguary, little mini junk journal ephemera challenge created by the wonderful Priscilla over at Release the Crafting. Links to their channel will be down below. And day's 3 prompt is creatures of the night. Love it. Okay, so I'm thinking that the first thing I need to do is like cut a base. But what I really need to do is I have a Dracula book here. And do I need to use Dracula? No. Are we going to be able to read any of the words in it? No. But it just feels like it should be the basis. Now, this is something that I've kind of seen about. I think I also even maybe saw Barbara at 49 Dragonflies do something like this. It wasn't this exact thing, but it was something. The basis of it was something. So if I can find her video, I'll leave it linked below. I don't know how many pages I'm going to need. I don't even know if I'm going to need to glue some together. I'm hoping not. And we are going to make... let's think about, I might cut a base just so I know what I'm working with, or I might not need to actually. We're going to make what could become a pocket in a journal, a tuck spot in a journal. So I need to remember that my journal page is about this big, so my book pages are perfect to stick onto this journal page. This is a normal size one for UK. It's A4 in 2, so it's just under 6 by just over 8 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to spray the middle. Doesn't matter which page I start with, just start with a page bell. I just want to check. Oh, I have got a cloth. I'm just going to spray. Now I do this for a couple of reasons. Often I ink as well, and I'm debating, do I need to ink these up? I don't know if I want to, but also I find it easier to rip and tear something when it's wet, especially if it's on paper. So I'm going to be ripping and tearing like a hole in this, but I'm not going to do like a massive one to begin with. I can always come back in and do another one, so it's fine. But kind of doing a hole, and in this first one I'm just going to tear it so that we just see the hole. In the other ones I may make it so that it's what's the word I'm looking for, guys? So that we see the paper rolled over the hole. Again, why do I do this to myself? Why do I go, I know what I'll do. I'll make something that I think I've done something similar once, or at least teared a hole in something, but I haven't made this kind of piece before. And I just go, yeah, I know what I'll do. I will... Why is this not getting as wet as that one? How weird is that? I'll just come on and make something I haven't made before. Really hope that it works. And yeah, do you know what might work best? Is if I'd seen the size of that hole and then kind of drawn an outline on here so I could see it, because we need it the same kind of size, but we need each piece to be slightly bigger. Yeah, so that's what we are going with. So I might only be able to get like 3 on here, 3 book pages. We'll see. So let's have a look. Is that bigger? It needs to be a bit bigger. Still needs to be a teensy bit bigger, especially down here. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. So creatures of the night. We're talking about Dracula. Obviously, there's two things that automatically, straight away, come to mind. First of all, wolves. Because there's that famous line when you hear the wolves and he says, listen to them singing the creatures of the night. You know, that famous line. But then there's also bats. And we all know I love bats. Well, you might not know if you're new here. Hello, welcome. I love bats. Have a look at my logo. You'll see one coming out of a journal. But I decided, let's go for something a bit different. Because, of course, I did. Do you know what? Let's do what I said with this page. And let's kind of go on here and kind of just do a rough outline of where this is. Because I'm going to rip it anyway. So that's fine. Can't even really see it. That was brilliant. That was, Belle. Good job. Good job, Belle. Brilliant idea. Let's try and keep these in order. It should be easy enough to see. But I decided, yeah, to go with something different. I mean, oh, I love bats and wolves and all that good stuff. But, yeah, I have something that I've been wanting to use for quite a while. It's something Tim Holtz brought out last year. And I bought one pack and then fell so in love with them, even without using them. I then immediately bought another pack. Because I was just like, there's no way. I need 2 packs of this item. And I need them immediately. And then I've used them, I think, on 1 or 2 small projects. But I don't know if there are any projects I've shared. And, yeah. Okay, we need the edges done more. I think we're only really going to be able to get the 3, which means actually I can roll these edges up. That's what I can do. I can rip them and roll them. Rip and roll. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So we've got the 3 pages. 3 should be enough. So what I now need to do is, first of all, we need to ink around this. But I also need to maybe try and roll these up a little bit and glue it. So let's make a start on that. Just rolling them. Going to put glue around here. And then we're going to kind of roll it a little bit and stick it down so that it's got kind of a... I think I'll probably stitch around it too, to be honest. Because, you know... When isn't stitching a thing that I do? When I forget. No. But yeah. So we are going with the creatures of the night. But we're not going with wolves. I may add the odd bat because it just seems right to have a bat on every single piece that I'm going to make. That just seems right in my head. Like, doesn't that seem right to you? Why won't you stick? It seems right to me. I'm going to ink this up now. And if I have to, I will stitch around this. Actually, let's bring in some black soot. Where's my black soot? I did think about inking. I may end up inking, like putting some watercolour ink on the top of the last one. But these pages don't really need it because the only bits we're going to see most of is these pieces here. And, you know, I don't need to worry too much. So that will go down and then this is going to go on top. I may even bring... Nope, that has to go under. And then we're going to roll this one too. So I'm going to do that to all of these. You've seen me do it to that one. And then I'll come back and show you what that looks like. Okay, so I've inked around all of them. And then you can see I've stitched around all of them as well. And so we've got the threads, we've got the grunge, which I just kind of love. Look at that. Doesn't that look just wonderful? This top one I am going to get some ink on. So let's do that. I think I also want to bring in, if I can find it, that's it, hickory smoke. I think I want to bring in some hickory smoke. So it's just this top one that needs doing, and I'm gonna bring in some walnut stain first over here. Let me move you over. There we go. And I'm going to spray on here. So the new Nosferatu movie is out, and I've been debating going to the cinema to see it. If you've seen it, let me know what you think of it down below. But both my sons went to see it together, and both of them said that they weren't actually that impressed with it. They said it was all right, but it wasn't, you know, anything amazing. Hold on, I wanted to dry that a little bit. Yeah, they were like, it's okay. Which I was a little bit disappointed by, because I was like, oh, I was quite looking forward to it. I don't normally watch horror movies or anything like that anymore. I used to watch them all the time, but when I got older, I just, yeah, they weren't for me anymore. And I take my youngest son's opinion quite seriously when it comes to movies like this, because I think he developed my love of horror movies, and definitely of the classic monsters. We've watched all the classic monster movies together. And actually, for one of his final projects in his masters, he wrote a book. He watched over 100 horror movies, researched them, and I'm going back to the very original horror movies that were out in, you know, silent movies, like the original Nosferatu. He watched them, researched them, looked at press at the time and all that kind of thing, and then he wrote about them, saying he picked ones that really made a difference or stood out, or were classics of a certain genre. And he wrote about not only the movies and the effect they had, or how they were filmed and the techniques used and everything, but he actually wrote about how they reflected society and what was happening in society. So he really went through and picked, you know, different movies, different genres and things like that, and how they were influenced. I'm just going to dry this. Okay, it's still a little damp, but it will work. But yeah, he went through and did all that and all the research. It was really good. He got the book like sent away to be made into a real book. He did like photography and did all this kind of interesting stuff in it. I'm actually just going to glue the edges together, guys, and you'll see why in a minute. And it was a really interesting kind of read, you know. And actually, when he got his final mark back, I mean, he's got a first and a distinction and all that kind of good stuff. When he got his mark back on that particular final piece, one of the things they said about it was that it was so interesting that he should think about getting it published. So I have sort of said to him, has he thought about that, or is he going to follow that up? But he has said he doesn't know yet. He thinks it would need a lot more editing before he really sent a draft away. But yeah, so when he says to me, do you know what, Mum? It was all right, but there was this, this and this. And he looks at it with a critical eye of a filmmaker. Even though he didn't do film studies, but the thing he's interested in, I mean, he does graphic designs and he does graphic design, but he's interested in book. He takes after his mum a lot. He's interested in book layouts and design. This isn't the only kind of book that he's done or had a hand in helping with layout and photography and design and stuff. And So when he says to me, do you know what, Mum, it was all right, but I actually think the original was miles better. But he could also see where they'd been inspired, all the little nods and Easter eggs and all that kind of thing to the original. So he really looks at it with a critical eye. And for him to go, do you know what, it's all right, Mum, but it wasn't what I was expected. And actually, I was a tad disappointed. I was like, oh, well, maybe I won't go and see it at the cinema then. Maybe I'll wait till it comes out and see it then and go see something else at the cinema. So if you've seen it, let me know what you think down below. I still remember watching that original Nosferatu, and you know, it was so well done and creepy. And even today, with the kind of intense creep that they do in horror movies today, which, as I said, I do not watch horror movies anymore. There's still something about that original one. I don't know if it's the silence, the black and white, or what, that just gives me such a creepy factor. So anyway, yeah, it was interesting to hear his opinion on it, because like I said, he comes from a more of a research and really looks into things. Not just, oh, I love that movie. It's more, how is this done? How's the lighting being done? Costuming. Why have they used that technique? Why have they done this, this and this? He comes at it from that point of view when he watches movies. It's very much like me when I go to see a stage show. So yeah. And my other son wasn't that bothered either, but he has not seen the original movie. So... but yeah, it was interesting to hear their points of view. Now, you might be saying, Belle, where's this going? What's happening with it? It is going to go on a page as a tuck. But before we do that, I have a few options. I have this. This is one of my photos that I took at Whitby. I've played around with it a bit, so it's been edited. And I was wondering about putting that behind there. I do kind of love it. I also have one of these. Oh, I also kind of love that. Oh, I mean, this is darker. And it is Creatures of the Night. This isn't so dark. Let's choose my own. Do I want my own photo? I mean, I love the darkness of it. But I also really do love this. Let's choose my photo. I love working with my own photos anyway, so let's just do it and have a look at width and what I need to cut. So I'm going to cut it about here, like so. And I love the fact this was actually taken at Whitby during a sunset. We were standing on the pier looking out to the other side of Whitby and that over here. And yeah, the sun was setting and it was just lovely. I'm going to just go around the edge of this. Now we're leaving that gap because we are going to fill it with things. That's what we're gonna do. So as I said, if you've seen the movie, let me know what you think down below. I'd be interested to hear what other people have said, as I respect my son's opinion, but it's also nice to hear what other people have said as well. So that would go on. Love it so much. Now my Creatures of the Night, the one I'm working with, let me just pick up my glue, are these moths. These Tim Holtz moths that came out last year. Oh my goodness, I love them. TH9443. That is them. And they have them in different sizes. And moths do come out at night, don't they? So that is what we are going to do. I want the smaller ones. And we are going to attach these underneath so that they're kind of appearing through. I need to find all the small ones. That's what I need to do. So let me do that and then I'll come back. Okay, so we have a few different sizes. We have the teensy ones, which are here. And then we have the more medium-sized ones that I just love these so much. That's why I bought 2 packs. As soon as I saw them, I was like, oh, I need that. There's no two ways about it. I need that. I think I want this one over here. I almost don't want to waste any of the moth, but also I need to think about where it's going to go. And not only are we going to add moths, we are going to add some leaves behind here as well. So I might actually have to cut some of the moths up. Oh, it almost seems wrong to do that. We could have it coming down at a different angle, or that one across there. Yeah, I want some beautiful moths on here. This one's gorgeous. Look at this one with the red. I mean, wouldn't that just work so well? Oh, love them so much. Right, I also have some greenery. Let's move these. I have some greenery, which I thought would work really well in coming out as well. I've got it in different colours, and that's why I kind of wanted to leave a tiny gap. Don't know if there's much of a gap there. There is here. We could have leaves. Right. Sorry, Mr. Moth. I'm just going to move you a minute. The leaf can come out through there. Like so. And we can have a moth coming through it as well. I just kind of want them popping out at different places. I like the darker leaves because it is coming up to midnight or night time. It's creatures of the night after all. So that might be nice on there, like so. No, I don't like that one. Hold on. Let's move it over this way instead. I could put it just down in the middle, so that it's more like that and tucked under the moth. I mean, if I can get foliage and some sort of insect in there, you know I'm going to, because that's just my jam. My jam, my jam. I just love it. Might put that under there. I don't like that brown one actually. That's coming out. Maybe I just don't like that one. Okay, let's try something different. Let's try this one. Obviously, these are all going to have to be inked up. I say obviously like it's obvious. It's obvious to me that they're all going to have to be inked. Oh, I just love, look at this one. Honestly, guys, these moths are like one of my favourite things they have done in a very, very long time. I just absolutely love them. I really do. So let's bring in some of this. This needs all punched out. But yeah. And then that would probably go in there. We see the moth popping up behind it. So you get the idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink all these plants up, glue some into place, come back and show you what that all looks like. Okay, guys. So I finally finished gluing all my moths on and the leaves and inking everything. Love it. Can I just say love it? Now I want to add, I've got this little word. I know this is definitely a Release the Crafting one. Again, I'm just using what I have in my stash, and I encourage you guys to do the same. I want a little bit of this. This is, I think this might be from a digital too. It could be from a scrapbook paper. Who knows? But I wanted to kind of back this. And I've picked the word sinister, because I feel like if you saw a ton of moths just suddenly flying towards a place, you might be like, That look a bit weird. I might actually have some lace. I've got some lace here. Let's have a look. Look a bit weird. I mean, I love moths personally, but I still think if I saw a load of them just flying towards a particular area, that I might be like, yeah, all right. It's a wee bit sinister. And again, I had this word printed out, and I really am just trying to use what I have in my stack. Yeah, it must be a digital because the back has a weird kind of look like that. And I think I'm going to go and stitch around this. Who's surprised? None of you. None of you are surprised. None of you have been here any length of time. You're not. And that would pop out the bottom, which I really, really like. Do 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 do, very soon, do do. Okay, and I think we might just, because we've added it on a few other things, just bring in a tiny bit. I think I had a different one. Yeah, I knew I had a different one. This one, I think I've dyed myself. I'm not sure, but it has more green to it. You've got to have that on here with the green of the plants and things. So let's also bring this in behind this now that I've stuck it down. Oh dear me. Oh dear me. I just love these. And now I've used like half of the mini ones up. There's only 26 pieces and I've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've used 6 out of the 20 already. I'm already starting to feel like I haven't got enough. Even though I've got a whole other pack somewhere. But you know, I cannot find that other pack. It will turn up because I know I ordered it. But, so I need to find that. Okay, I am going to go and stitch around this. I may even stitch... No, I can't because that wing's there. Okay, I stitched around it. Sinister. And then I've just had a thought. Because obviously I like to throw as much at it. And I feel like I'm getting into the groove of this challenge now. Just in time for, obviously, it's going to be finished. But still, I feel like I'm getting into the groove. Anyone else got the Madonna song in their head now? Just me? Okay. And what I want to do now, I mean, that will fit. Look at all these threads. Isn't it just delicious? That will literally fit onto a journal page. And you can have a tuck spot there. You could do it that it actually had paper behind and opened up, but I think it'll work best as a tuck spot. Now what I want to add is, I want to add some of the translucent crackle. Why is that stuck to that? The translucent crackle paste, the distress one. Oh my God. I need to, there we go. Oh no, I need a new one. There's just some things I can't do without, and my texture pastes are one of those. I'm going to put it on. Now I'm going to put it on. Again, it's one of those things you need to get the hang of, but like you can do it thin, you'll still get crackle, but it's actually better if you do it with a little bit of a thicker covering. That's the word I'm looking for. I think this is not drying out, but getting a bit thick. I think it needs, yeah, I think I need a new one. And I don't want to completely cover the Dracula because we're working with vampires. It's the theme of the challenge. So I want to know that this is the Dracula book that I am working on this page. So we're going to have a little bit of crackle paste up there, and then I'm going to bring in a little bit of crackle paste. My gosh, that's so hard, that bit. I definitely need a new one of these. Now I'm hoping it should do, because it normally does, that this should pick up some of the ink underneath as well, which will be fun, and we'll go on and ink a little bit too. So we're going to have crackle paste there as well. I'm wondering if I want a third bit just down here, but I don't think I do. So now what we have to do is we have to leave that to dry, because it's best to leave it to dry naturally, crackle paste. You can use a heat tool, but the crackles tend to be a lot thinner. So I'm going to leave that to dry, and then we're going to come back and finish this up. Okay, so the crackle paste has dried. It has made the page a little bit warped in some areas, but I don't mind that. You can see the crackle glaze there and here. See all the crackles. Now what I'm thinking of doing, and this may ruin it, so we shall see, but I'm wondering about adding some alcohol ink, just a little bit. I want to bring out some of that crackle glaze. So I've got here some caramel, and I'm going to get the blending solution as well, and I'm just going to add little bits, like I'm going to add it here, because it'll bring out some of those cracks. And then quick with the blending solution to try and get it to actually move a bit more than it is. I know the blending solution, it's meant to be so it helps other colours blend together, but I'm hoping to kind of also get some movement on the alcohol ink, because it will tend to dry super quickly. And then I'm going to come in with some tissue and just kind of pick some of that off, like so. I feel like I even want some just along the edge here, just so that it looks like it's not so much in the straight line, even though there's no crackle paste there. I mean, we're getting our grunge on. I wonder if I come in with a tiny bit of ginger. Let's see if this is too dark, the ginger. I don't know. I'm just going to add it in places. Oh, just a little bit. This will be good with the blending, like so, and then just a little bit up here, like so. Oh, love it, love it. All right, so we've got quite a lot along here. I don't know if I want the whole thing kind of done. Come in with the caramel again first. Let's do that. Add some of the blending liquid, like so, and then just in places come in with that ginger. Oh yes, it almost gives a rusted grunge look. Yep, yeah. I think I'm gonna need some more blending solutions soon. I'm halfway through that one. Love it. Sometimes you just got to love, but do you see how it's just picking up? It's looking much brighter on camera than it is in real life. It's much darker in real life, off camera. Let's come on with the caramel because we need it here too, where there's some crackle. Ugh. Trust me to put the lid on the blending solution already. Love that. Little bit of the ginger. Say little bit. Honestly, a little bit goes a long way with this ginger one. Just making it move all over. Love it, love it. I feel like we just need... See, I don't like this. I like it to look almost like it's dripped down. Do you see what I mean? Like that it's more organic and not so much just in a bit of a line. Ugh. It's delicious, guys. Okay. Okay, this will dry, but let me try and dry it now. Okay, so that's basically dry. It's still a little bit damp and has this glossy... I mean, that piece of thread is just completely stuck to the ink and stuff there. And it does go through. So if you're going to use alcohol inks, think about that before you use them. And this isn't everything. We need a few black splatters on here too, because because we do. Because we're just throwing everything at it. So I've got my acrylic paint here. And as always, I'm going to start off on a plain piece of paper, just so I can see, just so I can get the big blobs off, because I don't tend to love big blobs of splatter. Realistically, I like the smaller ones, fine ones. Okay, let's move that off now, and this off now. And guys, I think we are done. Let's grab the book page again. I just need to make sure there's nothing on here. Let me clean that. So once again, the prompt was creatures of the night, and I went for the idea of moths, and we've got all the splatter on here. And the beautiful moths in amongst all the book pages. It's a little bit grungy. It's a little bit everything. Now, I would suggest then backing this with another sheet of paper or some card. But wouldn't that make... Well, firstly, it would make an amazing journal cover, I think. It really would. But also, I just think it makes the most amazing tuck spot in your journal, that you put a little index card. You would like slot a little card or something in here, or you could have a tag coming out the front, or you could kind of put this on a piece of paper and have it as it opens and still have it as a tuck spot. So there are so many options with this piece, I think, and I just love it. I really love it. Yeah, definitely feel like I'm getting into the swing of things. The only thing is we haven't added a bat, and I did want to possibly add a bat to each page, but I don't know if it'll go anywhere. Let's just have a look for a teensy tiny bat. I think if it's tiny, it'll work. That's what I think. I just feel like we need a bat on every page. Why? Because it's me. And yeah. So here's our teensy tiny bat. Could put it down there with Sinister. Could even have it go up there. Feel like it goes really well with Sinister. I've now lost, there we go. I feel like the bat went missing for a minute. Sorry, I've got glue on my good. We could have it popping out of somewhere, so that only if you looked closely would you be able to tell that there's a bat. Or we have it on the picture like there. What do we think? I know you're going, Belle, there really is no need to add a bat, and you're right, there is no need to add a bat, except for the fact that, I don't know, I feel like the page isn't complete without one. But maybe this page is. Maybe we just don't need one. Oh no, I'm not going to add one. Oh no. So let me know what you think down below. It's actually quite simple to put together. It's just some book pages, a bit ripped out, something in the middle, and then you can put whatever. I actually, thinking about it now, I might have done something like this in a Junk Journal January or some other challenge, because now it's coming to mind that I might have done one of these, like a small one in a journal. But yeah, this would be an amazing tuck spot. I love, 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 love these moths. Don't we just love them? And it was really nice that I got to use my own picture in this. And the alcohol ink, now the colours that I've used kind of pick up the colours in the photo. So that's quite good as well, because I was feeling like the photo was too bright. I know that sounds funny because it's not bright, but yeah, I was feeling like it was too bright, but the alcohol inks have helped. And obviously we've got all the crackle, which is just delicious. I just love crackle. So that is it. Day 3, Creatures of the Night, Artisifanguare, hosted by the wonderful Priscilla over at Release the Crafting. Thanks for watching, guys. And please do like, comment, share and subscribe. I really, really, really appreciate it. And I'll be back again soon with another video. Until next time, guys, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of creepy, crafty fun. Bye for now.